Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Jamil. I am here today to help you guys through another lead code. Today's problem is titled Reverse Words in a String 3. I haven't done 1 and 2, however I am just going by highest acceptance rate and working my way down the list. So without further ado, let's start jumping into the problem. So reverse words in a string, part 3. Given a string S, right, we are looking to reverse the order of characters in each word within a sentence while still preserving the white space and initial order. So if we are given a string that says let's take lead code contest, all we are doing is we're going to take the word and flip it so that it is reversed. So let's is backwards, take is backwards, lead code, and so on and so forth, right? S will contain any printable ASCII characters, right? So what that means is that we can expect alphanumeric characters and special characters at the same time. It does not contain any leading or trailing spaces, so it will always start with a letter and end with a letter, or an alphanumeric character. And there will be at least one word that we'll have to take care of in the string, so we will always have something to reverse, okay? And everything is separated by a space. So that is an important bit because that tells us how we can separate our string and then reverse it. Okay, so what are we being passed, right? It's always I like to go through and write out what is being passed. I think this is an important practice for you to take note of and to do and to confirm with your interviewer. If you can talk through your skills, talk through your knowledge, talk through the problem in an interview, chances are you will have an interviewer who is going to be willing to help you, especially when you get stuck. They can point you in the right direction and help nudge you towards an answer. So let's see. All right. We are going to be passed a string, right? A string that contains alpha numeric characters, right? There will be no leading spaces or leading or trailing spaces. There will be no arrays for us to worry about. Arrays are objects, I guess I can say. And there will always be at least one word for us to reverse in the string. Okay. We need what are we going to need to return? So we will need to return the same string. So return the same string, but have every word reversed, right? So, as we said, let's take lead code contest. It's going to have to remain in that same order, but the characters of each word is going to be reversed. So reverse the characters of each word while maintaining the original, let's say, place in the string. Okay. Do not mutate the string. I mean, I guess mutating is the string. We're going to be mutating the string since we are actually working on the string itself. But in this problem, it doesn't tell us. It doesn't give us that constraint. It doesn't tell us to keep the same string and to mutate it. So we could store it in a different variable if we wanted to. But for the sake of simplicity, I am not going to do that. I am going to start tackling the problem. Okay. I think this is probably going to be a fairly simple solution. Let me break down my thought processes and tell you how I approach this outside of view and time. First thing I did was I told you guys there was an important bit of information that would help us split our characters, right? So we need to split each word that is passed in the string, right? So I'm going to store this in a different variable for the sake of simplicity, and then maybe at the end what I'll do is I will condense my solution. So let's say and when we separate each word into a string, what we're going to do is I'm going to just store it in an array because I'm going to use array methods to solve this problem, and it's going to make it a little bit easier for myself. Okay, so let answer, and it's going to be an array of strings, right? And that's how we represent an array of strings. It's going to be s.split. And what am I going to split with? I'm going to split it with my spaces, right? And here it says all the words in S are separated by a single space. And when you split with a single space and you console log ants, the variable that we just created, I will have to return a string. So I'm just going to return an empty string, right? For the time being, so that TypeScript doesn't get mad at me, right? Take a look at answer and you see what do we have. We have let's take leet code contest, right? And the original string passed in the form of an array, and in each array there are no spaces, but each word is now its own index. So now that each word is its own index, we can reverse each word, right? Which is what we plan on doing. So since we are working with an array, I'm going to need an iterator, and I'm going to iterate over it using a for loop. Okay, so iterate over the whole string and individually reverse every word. Okay, so I'm going to use a for loop for this. Let I is equal to 0, but I is a number here. Number. I is less than ants.length, and I'm using ants now and not string because I need to iterate over the array and not the string, right? I want to make sure that I'm grabbing each word, not each character. And then I++. With that being said, okay, what I'm going to do is a reassignment here. I'm going to take the index that I am on, right? Since I am in the array answer, I is the index. So when I is 0, it's addressing let's, right? Let's see here. I'll console log ants of I here, and I'll console log ants of I here, okay? And I'll do this so that you can see what is happening. I'll say ants I is going to be equal to ants I. And since ants I is let's in this specific example, and it is a string, you can apply string methods on it. I'm going to split it, and I want to split it on every character. I'm going to reverse it, and then I'm going to join it again because I want the word to look the way that it did originally, okay? So splitting it at every character and joining it at every character. Keep in mind that this split here on line 13 and this split here on line 7 are subtly different, okay? Line 7 has a space. Line 13 is just 2 quotes. It is not splitting based on empty spaces, but splitting between each character. And then once we're done reassigning our answer, what we're going to do is we're going to return the string separated by spaces again. Okay, so allow me to take a moment here, and I'll do a console log on ants again. Console log on ants, and we will see. And what we're going to do is we're going to return answer dot join, and I'm going to, again, subtly different than the join on line 13 because I have a space in here, right? I am joining every character on line 13. I am joining every word using a space on line 18. I think my console logs here are clear. Let's just say original. We'll call this original. And then this is, I'm just going to say mutated for a lack of better. So this is original index, and this is reversed index, right? This is reversed. Original and reversed. Let's run this. Let's see here what we come back with, right? I like console logs a lot in JavaScript because it helps me see what's happening. So let's see. All right. We have the original index here, which is let's. And then we have the reversed index, which is, let's backwards, right? Take, and then backwards, right? Original index and reversed index, right? This is our original array, and this is our reversed array. And you'll see in here each word and its reversed version, right? So let's reverse. We split it every character, right? We reverse it because this is a built-in function. So typically in other languages, you might have to pass it into some form of like variable before joining it again. But luckily for us in JavaScript and TypeScript, we have all of that available to us. So we don't have to take, we don't have to do all of that step-by-step processes. But yeah, so we take let's, it's the original index, right? And then you reverse it. Once everything has been reversed using our reassignment, right? Maybe if I do ants I here and answer, okay, instead of ants I, answer instead of ants I, answer instead of ants I. Let's see if this makes it a little easier to understand what's happening here. Okay, so look at this. We have our array. Let's take lead code contest. Now we are on line 12 of our first iteration of the loop. Let's take lead code contest. We do a reassignment of ants I to its reverse version. Let's take lead code contest. Here we have the reversed index, right? So you'll see let's has been reversed and everything else is the same, right? Then you have let's and take. Then you have let's take and lead code. And then finally you have let's take lead code and contest. Once that is done, once we are out of the loop, we are now here on line 16 on console log reversed, right? And this is what we are met with. Let's take lead code contest with each index reversed, but still in an array. And we must join it again because we need, according to this last part here, all words in S are separated by a single space. We are going to take the reversed array and join it again with a space, returning our answer. And that should take care of all of our all of the problem's requirements. So let me just remove all of these here. Boom, 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 and boom. And then I'm going to submit this and see if this is the answer. Cool. There we go. That was a working solution. So thank you very much for joining me here today. If you learned something, please like this video if you enjoyed this video. If you found something valuable here, please let me know in the comments, or if you have any clarification questions, please let me know in the comments. You can find this solution on my GitHub. You will find that link in the description below. Once again, my name is Jamil, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel so that you can join me for the next video and be notified for that. And I'll see you guys next time.